私は完璧超人の持つネプチューンマンだ。優勝は間違いなく我々のもの。なぜなら完璧超人に負けはないからだ。私はその昔喧嘩マンだ。その時でさえ
私の名は J マンだ。So today, guys, we have another S.H. Figuarts Kinnikuman review, and I'm very excited. This is Neptune Man, Kanpeki Choujin Novels. Perfect Choujin, Neptune Man. I'm super excited. I promised you guys multiple figures reviews. Go check out the poll. I'm going to check that by the time this video is published. But yeah, it's very exciting. We got a bunch of Kinnikuman figures coming in. We got some other series coming in. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, drop a like, do anything that you can to let me know that you guys love what you're seeing and want to see more of it. We're going to take a look at his presentation. We're going to take a look at his accessories. We're going to take a look at the levels of articulation that he has. And we're going to then at the very end compare him to Perfect Origins Arc Suguru. And at the very end of the video, you'll be able to watch a live action J-Star stop motion anime battle. As I'm aiming to do something different as a reviewer, I want to include something like this in every review. The goal of the stop motion battles is to do something a little different as a reviewer. I feel like a lot of the times when I watch reviewers, you can easily tell by the way they handle the figure that they don't care about the series, especially with the Kinnikuman reviews. It bothered me really deeply in my heart because I feel like the whole point of figures is to have fun with them, not to let them sit in the box. So I want to show them off at their full potential, maximum imagination, maximum anime battles. So I hope you love them. They've been getting a lot of views and a lot of shares, so you guys clearly do. So I appreciate you, and let's jump into the review.
Alright everybody, for those who are using the timestamps and are just tuning in, welcome. My name is J-Man. I won't waste your time because you're here to see this guy. So the intro is in the beginning. If you want to hear more about me, that's fine. But essentially we do shonen reviews here. We review figures, we upload music, we play games, and I take a look back at retro games. So we do it all. But today we are going to be taking a look at S.H. Figuarts Neptune Man from the Kinnikuman line. I changed a couple of things from my last review, which I just want to say I appreciate the resounding positive reception that I've received from those. Very, very huge positive reception for such a small nobody channel. I really appreciate it. And the only reason I'm mentioning that is because I strive to, despite being a small channel, I want to have quality content that competes with the big names. And I've been watching the big names for a long time, since, younger, growing up, because they've been doing it for many years. And, there are certain things I strive to do better, right? Like I improve the lighting. I think this lighting is vastly superior to the other videos. I got some gloves just because I felt like it would give a bit more of a professional vibe. So yeah, let's get into it. So I gave you guys a look at the box while I was yapping, but we can take a look one more time so I can give you my opinion on it. I love that a lot of the Kinnikuman line has like the branding of the character. I mean, if you're a fan, even if you're not a fan, this is just a cool way to advertise it. And they have Neptune Man. I have this Robin. I already bought him. He's coming in. Originally, I wasn't going to, but I'm like, dude, he's Robin. You already have like most of the line. Like, why not? Anyways, he's doing the Quarrel Bomba, which is like pretty much one of his signature moves where he does like a lariat, but it's crazier than a lariat because Neptune Man, and we'll get into that in the lore section, has like magnet powers. So this is the back of the box using the body kun to show off the different types of articulation. That's like the Niku curtain pose. We've done that with this guy several times. That's the ab crunch backwards, ab crunch forward. We're going to show all that. These are the different accessories that he comes with. Thank you, camera. Camera's been focusing a lot better since I improved the lighting. I appreciate it. Anyways, yeah, we have different types of hands. We have an additional Warsman head. So for those who don't know Kinnikuman, that's Warsman's true face. The mask that you see is a mask on the outside. He's really a cyborg Choujin, which if you watch Netflix anime, they go into that. So I highly recommend you watch it, even for new fans. The wonderful starting point. These are some alternative heads that he comes with. And I love this big, like, let me get it in here, yeah. promotional shot. That's what I'm going to call it. I love it. You have the Warsman worried face, him doing the Quarrel special. Yo, I'm telling you, you guys got to play Muscle Grand Prix too, this game. Or watch us, if you don't want to play it, watch us play on Muscle Brothers. Super Muscle Brothers play Kinnikuman Muscle Grand Prix 2. It's a great time. Round 6 was really fun. Quality is really up to a level that I'm proud of. But again, I'm open to feedback. So if there's people who are watching it and they have something wrong with it, let me know, please. Any type of content, talk to me. I'm trying to get it as good as possible because I mean, you can tell by the review, I love this series. I love these characters and I want them to become mainstream. I want them to reach a higher level. In Japan, it's already mainstream, but in America, it's not, and it's because there's no content creators for it. And I hate to say that, but we live in an era where every major anime has a content creator, and it's like this guy does not in America. And if it's gonna take somebody, J-Man's gonna be the guy. But so help me out, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let's get more Kinnikuman. Let's open this bad boy up. It's already been 5 minutes of me yapping. Hold on, let me grab some tools. I'll be right back. J-Man, you look like a killer. What are you doing with black gloves and a knife? Well, viewer, I couldn't find my scissors. I don't know where. I think one of the Muscle Brothers moved it. So, gonna try to unbox this for you live, guys. Just gotta find the right angle to get in there with. I don't want to cut the box. All right, cool. There we go. There we go. Live unboxing for you guys. You got to be very meticulous when you open boxes because on top of figures being shipped, whenever you open something, that is the next best opportunity for you to mess it up. But you can even see, I don't know if that was stress that I caused or if that was stress from the shipping. There's a little stress on the box. Well, nothing too crazy, right? But these are just things I like to point out for my super duper mega hardcore collectors who think about stuff like that. Because I know some of them are definitely tapping into these videos. So, also, PSA, do not use knives like me to open your figures. Don't be like J-Man. Well, in some ways at least. You could be like me, but just not like that. All right, cool. I'm excited. So,
俺はネプチューンマン。完璧超人。
oh, okay. Nothing crazy, guys. Nothing crazy. Just his little background got snagged in the actual figure. We could just pull the whole thing out. Who cares? Yeah, see his little green background. These are instructions. We can keep them out. His little green background got snagged while I was pulling them out. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. All right. Another look. What do you guys think? Pretty cool, huh? All right, so this is it out of the box. We're gonna open it. So while we open it, this is where, if you're new to the channel, I like to get into the lore section. Okay, so Neptune Man. To the viewer who does not know what Kinnikuman or who Neptune Man is, sorry, let's drop a little bit of lore. Okay, so Kinnikuman, right? This guy. Long story short, he's supposed to be an ugly, stupid, moronic, dumb bakagaru, right? But through his journeys, he proves that he's not stupid and he's not dumb. He's still ugly, but he's kind of cute too. But the point is that he comes of age, finds himself, and through that journey inspires other people who are his rivals or villains to become his friends and become stronger together and fight new bad guys. What does that sound like? Sounds like shonen, right? Well, it's because Kinnikuman invented it. Anyways, so Neptune Man comes into the picture where around the tournament arc, look at this guy. Wow, he looks amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm actually not a fan of the green color. I actually prefer this color. Sorry, my that's how you know I'm a real OG. My game case is a little beat up. I've had this one since I was a kid. But anyways, I prefer this color. I mean, you guys take your pick. Let me know in the comment below. Do you like anime Neptune Man or you like manga Neptune Man, where he's red and white and black? Or you like the anime one where he's green and silver with a little bit of yellow? I don't know. I think they're both cool, but obviously I prefer this one. I'll actually put a picture of up on it, in post edit. But they were gonna release a red version of this guy, and they just never got around to it. It's a shame. There was actually a few Kinnikuman S.H. Figuarts that, for whatever reason, were announced and just never came out. Sunshine, which I'll probably put somewhere over here, was also one of them. So, but back to the lore lesson. So long story short, things like right before the final arc, they do one of the biggest arcs ever, super long, but really fun because it's pretty much like an ultimate Kinnikuman battle royale where they bring back all these characters from different parts of the series, even ones that were claimed to have been dead, and randomly bring them back like Pentagon, no explanation, and essentially do like a big tag tournament. And then this guy and another guy, which I'm showing off the articulation a bit while I drop lore. This guy and another guy named Big the Budo showed up calling themselves the Hell's Missionaries. And Neptune Man's whole big thing is the mask hunt. Oh, some of the plastic's coming off. That's fine. We're trying to play with him anyway. So Neptune Man begins the mask hunt. And that's actually why he comes with the Warsman mask, is because he literally, that special move I showed you on the box, the Bomba. He quarrels, like he literally uses his magnet power to hit people so hard with Big the Budo that their frickin' face and their head pops off. Like he can literally decapitate people, and they have to nerf themselves so that way they don't decapitate people and they just rip their face/mask off. It is savage, and I love this character, and now you see exactly why I had to get him. So that's who Neptune Man is, in short. He's a perfect Choujin. So in Kinnikuman, all the supermen, aka Choujin, have different affiliations. Justice, evil, in between, perfect, somewhere sideways, upside down, whatever. This one is perfect, even though, spoilers, they flip-flop affiliations all the time. They're wrestlers. That's how wrestlers are. I mean, in the real world, they flip-flop affiliations, right? So that's essentially the little lore lesson for Neptune Man. I do want to get this plastic off of him, and I'm going to show you guys. I always do it off camera, but let me show you guys for the first time how to do it on camera. So this guy safely, and I love this about the older Kinnikuman line. This is why I've been buying them. All of these joints safely come off and come on. So I was able to pop that off, right? Sorry, my glove. Now that we're using gloves, the plastic is like sticking to the gloves. That's a funny issue. Anyways, you pop that off. You literally just take that. Boom. Voila. Oh, that one came off. I don't even have to pop it off. Nice. Boom. Voila. Oh my gosh. Nylon gloves. And then same thing for the center, right? So you don't have to be scared of it. I know it seems scary, but I was scared too when I got my first one. But actually, you don't need to be scared at all. What just happened was a negative experience. It happened off camera, but let me explain why. So remember how I was just trying to quote unquote showcase the customization system? Well, I was taking the plastic off this guy, and it's weird. None of the other figures have given me this issue, but him specifically, I don't know if it's just the way the ab area is designed around the trunks compared to the other characters, but like he feels sturdy and great. That's not the issue, but dude, I was having the hardest time putting these two pieces back together. You could call it a skill issue if you want. It does have to be done a very particular way with how you set up the ab system because there's multiple layers of stomach there. But I was not happy with that. And I was very, like, it kind of like dampened a bit of my joy. You know what I mean? But he's still great. But yeah, just be mindful of that. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. If you take him apart, be warned. Compared to other people, because of his vest, this is really annoying to put back together. So if you're playing with Neptuneman, I wouldn't even recommend taking this off. All the other stuff is fine. The leg, you guys saw, pops on and off, all that. But this area, for him specifically, because of how these two pieces meet, that was really it was so frustrating. Again, I had to do it offline. And because of that, like the way I was trying to sandwich it together, I ended up chipping. Well, not chipping, sorry. Camera. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. There you go. I ended up getting a slight bit of green on his shoulder, which is not the end of the world, right? But one thing I noticed when you're handling a lot of the fighters, especially the Kinnikuman, they're designed to be played with. Not that they're not. They're wonderful. Just be meticulous with how you handle them, because you don't want to start messing up all their paint jobs, because, and I'll get into it, their paint jobs are amazing. So perfect segue. Let's get into like the real interview. I feel like I've been yapping, but again, I know you guys like the in-depth interviews, so we're gonna yap compared to other reviewers that do like a 5-minute review and be like, this figure sucks, I don't even like Kinnikuman. Nah, we're not doing that here. Anyways, so presentation. 1-to-1 with his keyword anime, original flavor, as I like to say it, counterpart, right? Original flavor, because all the material these days uses the manga colors. So if we were to get another Neptuneman, or I actually think this figure is good enough as is, just get a re-release of this guy, but with this color, maybe with a couple improvements that I'll point out while we're looking at the figure. But yeah, that would be pretty awesome. But presentation is pretty good. I didn't really include this in the lore lesson, but if you guys are wondering why this guy looks like Hulk Hogan, he actually is based off Hulk Hogan, rest in peace, who, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, who at that time had completed a run in Japan. So he's based off the Hulk Hogan's Japan tour. But it's not like Kinnikuman Nisei doesn't reference Hulk Hogan like as Hulk Hogan WWE. So Hulk Hogan is Hulk Hogan, right? That's Neptuneman. He's anime Hulk Hogan. I think he is awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Let's take a closer look at the paint job, because like I always say, I said this in the Robin review, I'm gonna keep saying this, unless I'm buying a model kit where the gimmick is for me to paint it myself or touch it up myself, this is a figure. This should come feeling complete. And I have to say, I really like the green on his vest, even though, again, I'm not a fan of this color. I'm just going to say that one last time and move on. Even though that's not my thing, I still love it. Like, it looks great. Got these little braided studs, which if you look at his silver color, this is actually why I like the silver color. They're supposed to be studs. The green palette just opts to make them solid green, which is kind of whack. But I like the studs that they go for on the vest. It really makes it pop out. Also has a white outline, which unfortunately this one is lacking, right? But that's just me comparing the colors. If I was to actually talk about just the anime counterpart, then we're good. Like, it's good. I will admit, I do like the anime version has a silver mask. I do think that looks good. And I wonder how the red one would look if he had all the same features but with the silver mask. I honestly think it could potentially work. But yeah, so that's the vest. Let's get a closer look at his face for the likeness. Honestly, even if you're reading or watching Kinnikuman, I think the beauty of Kinnikuman is, even with the evolved art style, aka the new anime or the 2011 run, it's still, the designs are simplistic enough, kind of like that Dragon Ball effect, where it just lends itself really well to being done in figure form and in video game form. And it's like really good. Like, look at his face expression. This is the one that came right out the box. This is kind of like his declaration face, his angry face. His whole gimmick is Ichiban #1. That's like his big thing. So yeah, pretty cool. I really appreciate all the detail that you see on the mask. See, they could have went the lazy route. Let's get the camera to focus. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. They could have went the lazy route with the mask, but I think they actually gave it an extra nice touch. It's got like this soft metallic glistening finish to it. I'm sure the camera is actually slightly picking it up, to be honest. I know it's losing focus because of my hands. I'm sorry. There we go. And you can also, let me not move my hands that way. Doesn't lose focus. You can also see it in the eyes. Look at his visor. It has a very nice, which is crazy because it has to be something, the way the finish is on that paint inside allows it to be this reflective material, and it looks really good. And obviously the mouth and the mustache and the face, all is very well sculpted. I've seen a lot of figures where they get sloppy in this area because they think to themselves, everyone's looking here, but his head sculpt is actually pretty clean. And they opted for like a darker aftertouch on the yellow because you can clearly tell they put a yellow first and then they ran another coat on top of a different color. I don't want to say olive, but it could be an olive because it has like an ever so slight darker finish to it that actually complements the vest very well. That's why I wanted to get this figure, because even though it is the anime color, these Kinnikuman Figuarts are so well made that I feel like it pulls it off. Like, it's, to me, I look at the figure, I'm like, oh, that's Neptune Man, that's cool. Like, I need that figure, you know what I mean? So back to the muscles. I want to talk about the shading on the muscles, because I think compared to other Kinnikuman releases, the ones on Neptune Man's are pretty stellar and substantial, right? You can definitely very visibly see it on the camera if I just pull him back right here. And this is thanks to the new and improved lighting. You can literally see it, like, look at that, it's really good. Little light half tones on the outer side of the pecs, and then come towards the center of the chest, right where the collarbone meets, towards his traps. You can see this nice little kind of, I don't want to call it orange because it's not orange. It's like a tan shading. This nice tan that runs down here and goes up his whole neck. Camera. Goes up his whole neck, even into his Adam's apple, which I didn't even point that out in the presentation. That's a very well sculpted Adam's apple. And I know that's a weird comment to point out, but I like to appreciate every single detail. And there's a lot of figures that don't have details like that. So, and I really love the detail on his quads. If I know all these muscle groups, because I work out. So obviously I know the muscle groups, but I love the detail on his quads. His thighs look insane. And then look at the hamstrings. Like, and this is what I want to highlight with the Kinnikuman Figuarts musculature. They are different. They're not just copy-paste molds. Look at that. That's a different mold entirely. The arms, that's a different mold. Don't mind the paint. Like I said, you have to, I've been doing all these shorts and I've been playing with these figures, and one flaw I do notice is sometimes if you're not extremely mindful, they will sometimes get a small bit of chip paint, which you can get off, you can wash off. It's just it happened literally while I was doing this. So look, you got the front. I mean, this is just a size difference. They're supposed to be different sizes because Neptune Man is a giant hulking monster beast compared to like Terry Man. Sorry, just trying to get like a flatter view for you guys. Compared to like Terry Man, that's kind of a good comparison. Close enough, but you can see that Terry's head kind of meets Neptune Man's shoulder / collarbone. So you can see, like, if they were to do like a face-off, you can see how Neptune Man is like ever so slightly more hulking and bigger. We'll leave actually Terry Man there for comparison. But yeah, we'll compare it to Terry and then we'll compare it to Perfect Origin Suguru. That's perfect. But yeah, so back to presentation. His leg muscles look great. I want to talk about his leg fur. Okay, this I'm a little mixed on. Only because I do see what they went for here, where they kind of wanted this more, how do I say this? Golden, darker, yet softer kind of yellow. I see it. I see the vision. And I see why they did that to differentiate this yellow from this yellow. So that, in that essence, it does work. I am happy with that. I will agree that I was worried that these two yellows would be too similar. But no, that is not the case. And it definitely works. I think for me, it's just what it is. And it's not a bad thing. Is I guess I would have liked it to be a little more vibrant. Like you could have kept the hair color the same, but just make this a little pow. You know what I mean? But I think overall they just went for like a darker finish on the color scheme. Not that the character isn't bright, because if you play him in video games and if you watch the original anime, the color scheme is bright. It's just the figure went for a more, I don't want to call it realistic finish, because the rest of the body part still keeps the anime counterpart pretty faithfully. But in terms of the color scheme on the vest and the leg fur, you know, they went for that kind of look. But I don't mind it. It's still pretty good. The black on here is perfect. I have literally nothing to complain about it. Sounds funny, but I am going to point it out. They did mold his booty cheeks pretty well. I'm not going to lie. And the trunks. Like, these guys are just, they're very well sculpted. I think the only problem I have with my Neptune Man, and you can kind of see it all over the figure, it probably was because of me having to sandwich the abs earlier, but it's got a couple paint smudges on them, which I'm going to try to wipe off after this. But overall, presentation, pretty good. And the black on the shoes is pretty much the same black over here, except it is a little different. Let me see if I get it in the light. Like, the black here is slightly darker than this black, but for the most part, it's the same thing. So, and then the last but not least, his little wrist guards, which, as I showed you before, were a different color in the manga scheme. So, articulation. Okay, let's get into it. Let's literally take it from the top yet again. Sorry about that, everyone. Got interrupted by a quick call. But yeah, back to the articulation. I think the interview is getting a little long, so let's try to speed it up a bit. So, yeah, head articulation is pretty dang good considering the mold. Obviously, it's not perfect, so when you move it, I still think it's pretty good, though. I'm not gonna lie. Look at that. That's a good little, like, ora kind of punch. Kajiba no Munato punch. It's pretty good. Honestly, I kind of take back what I said. I actually think it's very good. And what I also appreciate is that because, as you can see it right there, because his neck is latched onto the skeleton independently of the other pieces, you can get some pretty good range of motion. My only complaint, I guess, is when turning the head, you kind of have to turn his whole neck. But given the design, yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But given the design, I don't think that's bad. And that's one thing that got me very frustrated with the review that I saw. Is someone was like, oh, this head is terrible. But I think it's pretty good. The thing about figures is figures, or at least for fans, you want the design to be accurate. So if design, sorry, I didn't mean to smack you there, guys. If design is going to be accurate, to some extent, you will have to sacrifice something. And it depends on the engineer as to whether or not they will evolve the figure engineering in a way to accommodate that figure. And if that is engineered in a way that suits you as the collector, then go for it. But if that figure doesn't offer the level of articulation that you desire, or maybe something else like accessories or yada yada, then don't go for that figure. I think it's that simple. But I'm sorry, I got a little rant because I feel like the zeitgeist of the Kinnikuman figures is not good, and these figures are awesome. But back to the arms. So arms, similarly to most of the Kinnikuman line, are on this ball joint, right? And this little arm, I'm going to call it the armpit. The little armpit socket is actually its own piece that you can pop off, right? I won't do it with this guy just for the sake of convenience, but I can show you with another character. Let's bring out Buffalo Manda. Yeah, look. This can come out. Boom. Willy-nilly, super easy. And look, they even got a label for you. Isn't that nice? It's like they almost as if they want you to collect the Kinnikuman, so then you could recreate iconic scenes by swapping parts, right? Which I haven't really had the energy to showcase that. Not in the sense of I don't have the drive. No, I have the drive. But more so as in I don't have the characters. Like, I could do Terry Man with Buffalo Man's arms. And I could do Terry versus Ashura. Like Ashura Man from that scene. And that would be cool. Maybe that's one body swap I could do. But I really am waiting for my soldier to come in. Because once my soldier comes in, dude, we're going to go nuts with that. I mean, you can tell by the shorts. I have different levels of passion because my characters are my favorites. But we're going to go crazy with this guy's short. Just been recording the review the whole time. Anyways, so back to the arms. That's how it works with the armpits. We get a nice, super nice rotation. Literally hassle-free. I love that. It makes me want to play with this guy right now. Super hassle-free. Could easily get the Quarrel bomber. Magneto power minus Magneto power plus. Crossbomba. And imagine my fingers just somebody's head like, yo, it's crazy. They did a really good job. I'm actually very happy. They knew that he had to have nimble arms. Nimble yet sturdy, which is crazy because look at these freaking guns. This dude is big and chunky and buff. Like for a figure, and that's actually why I like the Kinnikuman figures, because compared to a lot of other SH, where they're like these slimmed down anime boys, dude, these Kinnikuman, they're men. I know I said that with a lot of emphasis, but it's true. They're men. They stand on their convictions. They fight for what they believe in, even though they're friends too. They're men. That's a man. Look at that figure. And that's actually also why I recommend the Kinnikuman figures to even people who don't like Kinnikuman, or just like fighters or action characters, because if you're just someone who likes to collect, or you like to do what I do with some of the stop motion stuff, dude, I mean, look at the silhouette. It's amazing. It's amazing. But yeah, that's the shoulder articulation. What I love is, if it seems like this is crazy, it's because, bro, it is mind-blowing the design philosophy they used for these elbows. It's really good. So obviously, you have the double jointed elbow, right? Which comes up boom, and then also comes up boom, right? Obviously, his bicep and his forearms are a little big, so I can't get it all the way. But other characters like Terry Man can get it fine, right? Or you could come out here first and then come up, or you could just stay down there and then bring the forearm up. It's totally up to you. But the reason I'm pointing that out is because you can notice it here, is this and this has a swivel right here. But then on top of that swivel, since it's double jointed, you can do that. So dude, you can get, on top of the shoulder articulation, dude, you can get some really, like, elbow drop, like exaggerated, camera please focus, exaggerated boom. Dude, chef's kiss. Sugoku. Berishimo. 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 Sugoku. Little JoJo reference right there. But yeah, I love, I've been going crazy with that design philosophy with these guys. Terry Man, I want to do a review on Terry Man because I actually think compared to the first Suguru, I don't know what they were cooking with him. He just feels like very improved. These are the wrists, right? So I actually think the wrists are pretty dang good. A little limited, I'm not going to lie, just because of this cuff. But like with most of the Kinnikuman figures, you can actually extend their wrist out. Oh, I popped it off. But you can extend their wrist out a little bit. That's just my glove speckle. Don't worry about that. You can extend their wrist off. It's funny, Neptuneman's so pointy, he's been ripping my gloves. Isn't that cute? It's funny. So badass. He's even hurts his owner. Anyways, so yeah, that's the wrist rotation. Pretty good. Yeah, a little flexing. Little Kanpeki Choujin. Perfecto Choujin. Boom. Oh yeah. Baba. Soria. Anyways, sorry guys, having too much fun. You guys say you like the long reviews, right? Anyways, so back to the legs. Move on to that's the arms and stuff. Actually, before we move on to the lower body. So this is the ab crunch. Ab crunch forwards. Let me get him stand up straight. Yo, bro, that's crazy, bro. That's super good. Considering he has this vest, I didn't even think he was gonna get that. Wow, 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 wow. Look how deep you can go. You can even like go side to side and stuff. Wow, 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 wow. And I love this. Look at that. A little bit of his lats, his lower lats, lower back muscles. And it's crazy how they got the back muscles sneaking in there when we have this whole vest. Yeah, look, look, look. That's crazy. That's so good. Look, this vest is an independent piece of that. So it hides it. That's fire. And then this back muscle is right here. So it feels like the back muscles are still there because they are. And then boom, when you bend them forward, you get hidden muscles. That's nice. This figure is nice. I'm happy I bought this guy. You can actually find them for pretty good prices. I actually paid overprice, but that's because I wanted him new. I didn't want him used. But if you look for like a pre-owned one, which a lot of the Kinnikuman collectors take care of their merch, not all of them, so be careful, but most of the postings I do, this community seems to love their stuff. So whenever they're selling it, they're usually in good condition. I saw one literally right before this review. I looked him up. He was like $70. And that's pretty dang good for the quality and the price. I think it's just because it's a niche character, one, and then two, even on top of him being a niche character, for the people who do like him, like me, this is not their favorite color palette. So I was just willing to bite the bullet because I'm like, would you rather have Neptuneman or would you rather not have him at all because you're being stingy about the color? I'd rather have Neptuneman, thanks. So, but yeah, that's the ab crunch forward. Ab crunch backward, I'll admit. Oh, okay, never mind. Yep, I was about to say something that I shouldn't have said. Oh. I was about to say something that I shouldn't have said, which was that his ab crunch is bad. But I was wrong. His ab crunch is wonderful, which I should have known that because the box said that. But, you know, sometimes the boxes be lying, so I like to test it out myself. Yeah, this is super good. I'm definitely, as soon as Ramen Man comes in, I call it the camel clutch test. Can they hit the camel clutch? And yes, he can hit the camel clutch. So pretty good, pretty good. And then, yeah, oh man, I think I'm starting to get in the groove with Neptuneman. He's starting to feel really fun. The short is going to be great. Magneto power minus. Yeah. All right. But yeah, that's upper half done for the most part. Before you ask me, chat, no, this does not move or nothing. These are just very spiky and pointy, as you can see, because my gloves are tearing up from handling this guy. Which is funny, I did not expect that, actually. Sorry, I'm just trying to get his, like a roaring kind of pose. Anyways, so back to the legs. So we're going to talk about these amazing, keyword amazing, Kinnikuman legs. And I say amazing because I don't know what they were thinking with the new one. Why did you guys switch up? How'd you do the legs? I'm not even going to show the stream because they saw it in the first video. Why would you switch up how you do the legs when these guys already have perfect legs? And that's not even with me. Oop, I pulled it out too much. I was just going to highlight in a good way. So not only do they come out, I keep pinching myself. Not only do they come out, but you can even bring the legs down. So how I just did that? Because look, there's like a mechanism in there where it holds on to the two ball joints independently. And yet you can move that joint too. So you have that ball joint in there, and then you have that other joint. So bro, like you can really like get crazy. Look at that. Look at that. And I'm not even actually doing a specific pose. I'm just trying to highlight the range of motion. That's very impressive. And then look, if you want to get like a Kinnikuman Buster pose, easily achievable. 48の殺人技 Kinnikuman Buster, easily achievable. Yeah, with this guy, I'm not even going to show you because you've seen it. And I don't feel like putting them back together right now. So I'm a little frustrated with that guy. But yeah, amazing legs. Sugoku Berishimo. Great legs, great rotation. Feels easy to handle, easy to use, very sturdy. Got a nice independent swivel right there. So like, look at that. I'm exaggerating it on purpose. It's not even supposed to look that gappy. This is just for when you want to hit like a really, let's say you're doing a stop motion video and you want to get like a really exaggerated stomp from a certain angle, dude. That looks like Neptuneman is about to stomp somebody in half. And that's why I love the Kinnikuman figures. They really lend themselves well to that. And even if you want to like push it in there, look, you can still get a pretty good effect. And then now there's no gap. And now it's the same effect. But if you're taking a picture like me or something, and you want to just exaggerate it even more, boom. And that's why I love these guys. Because they lend themselves to both collecting and playing, which in my opinion makes them the ultimate figure. A great figure is a figure you want to collect, take care of, handle properly, get to understand the source material, and then on top of that, use it. Have fun with it. And if a figure is good enough that it makes you check out the show or read the manga, Sugoku Berishimo. It did its job. So I want to show off the knees. Again, double jointed knee. People have been complaining about the Kinnikuman knees when I was watching reviews online. Bro, personally, I don't even think they're that bad. I mean, is it older? Yeah. But you got to remember, these guys came out in 2017, 2018. That's literally on the precipice of a decade. And could you believe that this figure is a decade old? Look at this guy. He's amazing. Granted, the newer figures like Yusuke, they're on a different level, but I think these guys still keep up. And I think that they're at decent prices. The struggle of being a collector is when you want a figure and the figure is just too expensive to justify it. I'm going to start doing some Kamen Rider content. I actually purchased a couple Kamen Rider figures today as an investment because I already have a couple of them, but I know that the few that I have wouldn't be enough to keep doing content. So now I officially have enough Rider figures to like literally drip feed Rider stuff as well as everything else. But the point that I'm making is that I wanted to get Kamen Rider Eternal Sinkocho Seiho, which is like the true bone Kamen Riders. They're like the upgraded Kamen Rider figures. And I wanted Eternal, and Eternal was a web exclusive back in 2018. Dude, people want $500 for that figure. I'm not paying $500 for a figure. I already paid, as gross as it is to say, close to like $200 for the 4D killers. And it's crazy because I paid that much, and then in the poll, I took a look really quick. It might be different by the time I'm done, but I saw Toguro winning, so it made me laugh. But anyways, yeah, it's Neptuneman. Double jointed knees. I really appreciate the similar design philosophy to the arms in which that you can twist them. Obviously, with him, it's not going to be as extreme just because of the way his quads right here are, getting in the way of that knee swivel. But there are certain situations, you see, where I can still get it. You can still get it. Honestly, it's pretty dang good. It's pretty good. And people were complaining about these knees, bro. Silly. Bakayoro. Only thing I will complain about, and this is an honest J-Man opinion, is this. Because the way the fur is done, it limits the foot a bit. I mean, granted, it's still pretty free. Still pretty free. Yeah, I'm getting a little aggressive with it. Still pretty free. And still has ankle rock, which Yusuke Urameshi 2025 figure doesn't have that. But he has ankle rock. So that's nice. Obviously limited because of the fur, but still good. Yeah, still super good. And I do like how he feels. He feels very sturdy. And that's what I always say you want with these figures, is to feel sturdy and strong. I think we covered all the points of articulation, to be honest, right? So we got head, neck, we have upper chest, we have the abs/core, we have the lower abdominal area, we have armpit/shoulder area, we have the arms, double, literally, like I almost want to call it 3 points of articulation just within the elbow alone. It's insane. Yeah, literally 3 points, because you have the double joints, then you have the twist. It's insane. Very good. And then you have the wrist. Pretty good too. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to do a little wrap up. Pretty good. Legs, also really good. I already talked in depth about the extension mechanic. Double knee. Just gets a little limited because of the fur, but I'm willing to forgive that because of his size and his mold. And the character, literally, that's the design. So it's like, what are you going to do, not do the design? I do really like his feet, though. Especially for the fur being in the way, they're still pretty good. They're not as limited as I would have expected. So that's going to be it for Neptune Man himself. Let's take a look at his accessories. Sorry, his box got a little banged up. Wow. Not banged up as in damaged, but like more so I smacked the box while I was trying to put him back together earlier. So just let me set that up for you guys. There we go. I really love the new lighting. The new lighting is making my reviews come out so much better. I'm very happy with the Neptune Man review so far. All right, so he's got 2 different heads. Well, 3 different heads if you count that one. One thing I like about the Kinnikuman figures is instead of doing face plates, they're just like, screw it. Just give them a whole different head, which is, again, perfect Arc Suguru. I don't know why they went for the design that they did, but anyways, so let's take them on. I can just show them to you real quick. So yeah, that's like, all right, so every Kinnikuman character, if you see like the sweat, that's like their worried face. So one thing I love about Kinnikuman is it originated in the 70s and the 80s. Well, literally at the edge of the 70s at the end. But then obviously went on to be at its peak during the 80s. And the point that I'm trying to make is that has a very reminiscent art style. I noticed this because I was reading a lot of Osozamu Tezuka manga recently and a lot of Go Nagai manga. And early Kinnikuman art style, not the evolved one. The evolved one is more of its own flavor now, but the early Kinnikuman art style had a very strong reminiscent flavor to Osozamu Tezuka mangas. And if you read the Tezuka mangas, a lot of characters have this kind of expression where those little stains, the way that they're drawn, the way that they're molded, are supposed to be like sweat stains. Like they're worried, like, oh my God, I'm getting hit by a special move, or oh my God, something got revealed, or oh my God, something happened, or oh my God, my special move got countered. Like something like that, you know? And it's really good. The whole line has it. This is like his neutral / battle ready face. I'm actually very happy that they have this. I feel like they gave the perfect amount of heads. Like you got the neutral space, you got the call out like number 1 / battle face, and you have the worried face. Oh, speaking of number 1, the number 1 hand, Ichiban. And they give you 2 pairs of grappling hands. I kind of want to take a look at both just to see if they're any different. Where is... Maybe we could just use the pincher to get in there. Yeah, I have big hands, guys, so it's a little harder for me to get into these nooks and crannies than most folks. Well, the shading definitely looks different on them, which is an interesting piece. Because this guy looks a bit more... I'm sure the camera's actually picking it up, too. He looks a bit more, like, darker flesh. No, not darker as in, like, you know, a darker color, but more so a more intense shading. Yeah, like if you took an image and raised the saturation up. That's the best way I could explain it. Let me take a closer look myself off the camera real quick. They kind of seem like the same thing to me, chat. Nah, I'm lying to you. I don't know why, but one of them has longer fingers than the other, even though they're both grasping hands, but I'm assuming that one of them is supposed to be grasping hands for doing a special move, and then another one is supposed to be like grasping hands like for a weapon. But yeah, I don't know if you can see it right there, low key. Yeah, you should be able to see it there. Yeah, that's a pretty good comparison. The fingers on the left hand are longer. I know it seems weird to like get that minuscule, but that's the point of these, of my J-Man reviews, is to get as deep and nook and cranny as possible with the Kinnikuman. Not just Kinnikuman, with any figure that I review, because that's how I want to do the reviews, because I feel like I hate when reviewers don't show full love. So that is the Warsman face of when, you know, he gets his mask popped off by Neptune Man during the tag team match, which I definitely, I mean, at this point, low-key, I just need to buy Warsman too. But the problem is, and you can tell from the bonus accessory, which this looks phenomenal. That looks really good. That looks super, super, super good. Let's see if we can actually put it on the mask, on the other head. That'd be cool. But it's reaching a point where I just need to buy a Warsman because, whatchamacallit, I have everybody else but him. And I love Warsman. But my only problem is the anime color is super hard to find and it's pretty expensive. So if I was to get him, it'd probably be a couple weeks from now. Save a little bit more money since I've been buying, man, way too many figures. But the thing about me buying figures is I bought a lot of Kinnikuman stuff, but then when the channel started blowing up, I thought it'd be smarter to not only buy a lot of Kinnikuman stuff, but then buy some other stuff too to help Kinnikuman get some exposure. But yeah, the mask does fit, but it doesn't fit all the way. So like if you wanted to get a scene where he's laying down or something, you could get it on. But like if he was standing up, it would slide right off. But I think that's the whole point of it, actually. If you look at the promo pictures, all the pictures have him laying down like he's defeated because he's supposed to be like dying. You know what I mean? But this accessory is pretty cool. You guys are definitely going to see me use it in the stop motion. At least the mask. I already have an idea for that. So actually, maybe a both. Probably both. But I think that is it. These are just the instructions, which we don't really need those. We know how to use these figures. But I think that's it. Before we wrap up the video, let's do some quick comparisons. So this is the latest Kinnikuman S.H. Figuarts. Kinnikuman. Kinnikuman. Go fight. It's Kinnikuman. I gotta admit, he looks amazing. Literally, my only complaint is just the trunks thing. If they make a Robin mask with this type of muscles, but they fix the trunks, dude, it's gonna be the best figure ever. But anyways, this is him compared to, let me see if I could just get the camera to come down a little bit. There we go. This is him compared to Perfect Origins Arc Suguru. Let me know if you guys feel like that's a pretty good comparison. Sorry, let me get their feet lined up. Yo, low key, new Suguru compared to Neptune Man is actually keeping up. And I already remember how I mentioned earlier in the review that Neptune Man was a big boy. The new Suguru is beefy. But I don't know if you guys have been watching the shorts, which a lot of you have. Honestly, the shorts have been where a lot of the subscribers have come from. So shout outs to you guys. I'm definitely having fun with the shorts too. In the shorts, I used this Kinnikuman to represent his transformation, his Kajiba no Kusojikara. Because if you look at this Kinnikuman versus, I mean, it's not really a fair comparison because they're different scales. But if you look at this Kinnikuman compared to this Kinnikuman, I mean, come on. He looks like the super mode of this version, which this version, I love this guy. It's one of my favorite figures of all time, which we're going to do more mini reviews, but people love the Figuarts reviews. And I don't blame them because Figuarts are more accessible, more affordable versus these guys are more rare and more expensive, ironically. Well, not Suguru himself, but the other ones like Robin, Warsman, and the 4D killers for sure. They're definitely more expensive than Figuarts. But anyways, that's how he looks next to our favorite Perfect Origin Suguru. I actually think they scale pretty well. That's why I started collecting the rest of the Kinnikuman figures, because I had bought this guy and I only had a couple of them. And I'm like, something in my heart feels wrong about that because I love Kinnikuman. And then, I mean, one thing leads to another. Here we are. Now I'm a YouTuber, which I didn't expect. But here's Terry Man. Sorry, phone is low battery. Anyways, here's Terry Man. I'm just trying to fix him up so you guys get a better comparison. I don't want to have him all twisted up and then he doesn't look right. I really like Terry a lot. I want to do a review on Terry. I actually, spoiler alert, if you're actually watching this still, I like to let the audience know what's coming. I actually purchased Kinnikuman Great. So that's going to be really fun. Kinnikuman Great. And the Japanese viewership, I mean, I know it's because Kinnikuman Great just came back in the manga right now, but the Japanese viewership has been blowing up the Kinnikuman Great content. Like anything Kinnikuman Great, Japan is like all over it, bro. So I see you, I recognize you guys. You guys love Kinnikuman Great. I'm gonna do more Kinnikuman Great stuff. We're gonna get a review of, well, before I keep yip-yapping, this is Terry next to Neptune. I think they scale extremely well together. I mean, that's the point. But Terry with Neptune, yeah, Neptune's just a bit bigger, a bit beefier. You can see it, but that's kind of the point. That's how, you know, the characters were designed. So this is Kinnikuman Great. So Kinnikuman Great wasurenai. So Kinnikuman Great. Just a little bit of a lore lesson, because these two guys are very, very deeply interconnected. Literally both premiered in the same arc, the tag tournament arc, except the difference was if he is the villain of the arc, he was the new hero of the arc. And I've been rereading a lot of Kinnikuman because I make the music videos. So the music videos forced me to read the material again so I could find the best moments. And I think at this point I've read the whole series now like 4 or 5 times from front to back. But the point that I'm making is I noticed a habit of the older Kinnikuman is every arc, they introduce a new cool villain and they introduce a new cool hero. And the reason I really appreciated Kinnikuman Great, and I think this is the best Revolve mini other than Robin. And after I did the Robin review with the leg issue, I think he actually might be better than Robin. But that's a different day for a different time. But the Vermilion Mask, Kinnikuman Great, because there's 2 versions. There's the Vermilion version, which is this one, and then there's the Kuroi version, which is the black version, which they both look pretty cool. The point that I'm making is these characters are deeply interconnected. So I think it would behoove us to do another short. Not today, because today's short, I already have the idea of what I want to do. But it would behoove us to do a short with Kinnikuman Great. But these guys are connected. They're all connected. This guy is very popular. All my Japanese viewership loves him. So I just want to give a quick shout out to Kinnikuman Great. If you want to see a Kinnikuman Great review sooner rather than later, let me know. And I'll pump that out sooner rather than later. But in conclusion, guys, to wrap it up, I really think Neptune Man is great. I think he's a solid figure. The only issue I had was that abdominal thing where the rest of the line I can do it easily, but because of the vest and the way the ab is designed, when I was trying to sandwich this back together, I mean, you can kind of already see it there. You can see how that was difficult. You see what I mean? I'm not even actually doing it. Just a visual of itself. Chat can visualize in their brains like, damn, J-Man was struggling with that. And yes, I was. So much to the point where I had to stop recording and just do it for a few minutes and then just get it done and then start recording again. So that's the only issue I have with him. Other than that, I think he's pretty great. I love how he feels, extremely sturdy, very bulky, very buff. Yeah, very buff. You can get aggressive with him. I love the articulation, very great articulation for his size. Like, you can just go nuts with the poses. Excuse me. Very good exaggeration. Very good. Very happy with this guy. Like the paint job, good accessories. I think the only thing I would have liked to have seen, because I'm like looking at his hands, they gave us 2 pairs of grappling hands. I mean, I guess one of the hands could double as drama hands, but I like to have the drama hands. And the drama hands, for those who don't know, are usually the hands that go like this, right? Where it's like exactly like that. Literally the same pose I'm doing with my hand. I like to call those drama hands. And the reason I like drama hands is because drama hands, literally it's in the word, add drama. So, but again, you can just use grappling hands as a substitute for drama hands. But other than that, I would say he's pretty great. I would say if you can get him for a decent price, he's worth it. I paid $90, but I'm a Kinnikuman fan, and now a Kinnikuman YouTuber, as crazy as it sounds. So I thought that was worth it for me personally. But if you're new to the character and you're new to the series, try to get him for like 60 or 70. And I already saw postings at that price. So if somehow you watch this video And then you go online, check Mercari, check Bai, check a bunch of other places. Don't just check the mainstream sources. You might find them. And I actually got this guy off Amazon, as crazy as it sounds. I also got Buffalo Man off Amazon. But I saw them, they were both brand new for $90. And I kind of thought to myself, $90 is a little steep. But at the same time, for how rare these guys are, and I care about having them new, not used. Don't worry about these little smudges. That's just my black glove ripping, as you can see on Neptune Man, because of his spikes and his little pinchy places. But he's great. I really like him. I think he's worth it. And yeah, that was the comparisons. We showed off the photos in the beginning, and I think all that's really left. I might throw in a couple of extra photos just for funsies, but I'm gonna do the anime stop motion battle. So make sure you guys stick around for a really cool J-Star stop motion fight right after this. Like and subscribe for more J-Man. Comment, let me know what figures you want to see next. Whether it's a figure I already have and you'd rather see that review sooner, like Kinnikuman Great, or whether it's something that, a series that you just want me to bring attention to, and I can maybe look into me trying to get a figure for it or not. Just look into the series, show maybe if it's my interest. I don't know, talk to me. This is a household of shonen, and I hope that this new and improved review with new lighting, with the gloves, with everything, shows you guys how dedicated I am to making this channel grow and prosper. I never would have imagined trying to do YouTube full time, but with the level of content that I've been pushing out recently, it kind of has become a full-time thing, low-key. And I'm not upset about it. I love it because I'm doing it for something I care about, which is Kinnikuman. I care about him a lot. I care about this franchise a lot. Hear it in my voice. It means something to me. And I hope that these reviews, the gaming, everything, the music, the shorts, it's just been fun. It's been fun for you guys. I'm just trying to spread fun, man. I've been through a lot of things in my life. I'm sure most people have. And when I come to these characters and I come to these stories, they make me feel strong and happy in a way that is so hard to find anywhere else. And that's why I love shonen. So if you love shonen too, make sure you like and subscribe. Support J-Man. J-Man will then give you more love and show you more of his hobbies and interests. And we can just have more fun together, man. That's what this channel is about. So enjoy the stop motion battle, guys. Like and subscribe. Ichiban!
Here comes a new challenger!
やり予告、お前のマスクあとジャスト5分後に剥がしてくれる。
あんたは確かに私と超人オリンピックイギリス予選を争ったザ・ケンカマンだ。
無礼だ。このお方はケンカマンなどではない。パーフェクト超人のドン、ネプチューンマン様だ。
どうしてもそのケンカマンと私を同一人物にしたいのなら、リング上で強引にそれを認めさせてみな。
に乗るな。引き嵐ドライバー。ビッグザブのバック狩りだ。ハムレットパワーファイだ。ハハハ 攻撃じゃ私は倒れないぜ。